everyone, welcome to Prudent Media News. First, a look at the top stories. Indications that G7 will play low, agree on petty fulfillments as toppling of government cannot yield anything. MPT says state government and Goa Fishing Boat Owners Association have agreed for an alternate site at the Kante Baina new jetty of MPT to expand in the next 4 years. NDPS court at Mapsa rejects bail applications of policemen accused in the drug nexus case. Crime branch fails to nab absconding PC Sanjay Parab even after 16 days. Junior Guide Sporting Club de Goa to a 3-1 victory over Salgaonkar Sports Club in the I-League. And Salgaonkar Sports Club manager Prabjit Sandhu says Goa Cricket Association acted hastily. Franchisees should have been taken into confidence. And now the news in detail. It is very much clear that Group 7 is creating this political rampage citing mining moratorium and the regional plan. But toppling government doesn't look favourable for Group 7 in the present situation. Group 7's revolt might also get fizzled out after getting some petty demands agreed.
Every revolt has issues and Group 7 certainly had issues with the ruling government. Group 7 revolted citing mining moratorium and RP issues. Current political condition is unpredictable and explosive. Group 7's threat to the stability of the government is still on. If Group 7 continues to push both these major issues on the burner, then there are two possibilities. 1. Can the government compromise on mining and the regional plan issues? Or 2. Will Group 7 really topple the government if mining and SEZ issues are not considered? The mining issue basically comes under the purview of the union government. State government is not in a position to decide anything on the issues related to mining. Central Environment Minister Jairam Ramesh has clearly mentioned in his letter that the moratorium on mining will be lifted once Goa frames its mining policy. The policy was supposed to be finalized in the second week of March, but it's already the first week of April and there is no news about it. If Group 7 topples the government in this situation, then there are two questions. 1. If Congress government in Goa is toppled, then will Congress-led union government lift moratorium on the new mining leases? Or 2. If everything will be decided by the central government, then what is the benefit in toppling the state government? The second issue is of regional plan. People in Gram Sabhas are very vigilant about the RP 2021. At this point of time, it is difficult for the government to make any desired changes. Let us say G7 topples the government on this issue. What happens then? 1. Who will get sympathy of the people? 2. Will BJP form the government on these controversial issues and literally commit a political suicide? Or 3. Can a party forming the government on these issues come back to power? This doesn't end here. Congress has its government in the centre, and if the assembly in Goa is dissolved, then Digambar Kamath will be the caretaker CM. Then what is the point of toppling the government? Now another option for G7 remains in change in present cabinet. Here are the two questions. 1. Will Ravi Naik get stripped of Home Ministry? Or 2. Will there be a division of Churchill's PWD? Nothing is clear as far as this issue is concerned. Everything is in a jinx. Two of the ministers in Group 7 have hardcore political differences with Churchill and Ravi Naik. That is the reason they have asked for a cabinet reshuffle. They are also demanding leadership change. They are not ready to strip Digambar Kamath of CM's post, as deciding CM is the prerogative of the Congress. So now it's only Congress High Command Sonia Gandhi who will give her final decision on the political crisis. Everything depends on that. Bureau Report, Prudent Media.
Mormugao Port Trust on Saturday announced shifting of Khariwada fishing jetty at Kate Baina. MPT Chairman Praveen Agarwal said that the state government as well as Goa Fishing Boat Owners Association has accepted the alternate site to Kate Baina. Earlier, Goa Fishing Boat Owners Association had opposed the proposal of MPT of shifting fishing activities from Khariwada.
MPT claims that Goa Fishing Boat Owners Association has settled Kharivado jetty issue with them.
I am glad to announce that the Government of Goa and the Goa Fishing Boat Owners Association have accepted an alternate site at Kate Baina, which is outside Vasco Bay completely. We have started the preliminary work for construction of the Kate Baina fishing jetty, and let's say 1.5 years from now, the Kharivado fishing jetty would have shifted and the Vasco Bay would be available for development of the port facilities.
MPT Chairman Agarwal also disclosed the future plans of MPT at Kharivado jetty.
This is where the new cruise terminal, world-class cruise terminal for the state of Goa would be coming up. This is where the container terminal, which will be an essential part of the logistics hub, will be coming up, and this is where the aircraft carrier berth will be coming up.
MPT is also planning to invest 3,000 crore rupees for the overall development of port in next 4 years.
Total cost will be in the region of about 3,000 crores, spread over the next 4 years. A major portion will be by way of the PPP projects.
Agarwal also said that waterways in Goa do not have the capacity to handle any further increase in traffic of iron ore. Agarwal was responding to questions whether the MPT would be in a position to handle the projected 100 million tons of iron ore if 100 more mines are cleared by the Ministry of Environment and Forests.
Waterways themselves have reached their saturation point. Unless the waterways are improved, unless they are stabilized, unless the Khambarjua Canal is also perhaps dredged and so that it becomes usable during the monsoons, the increased capacity of the mines will not result in further increase.
Our principal correspondent Murari Shetye with video journalist Anil Sanadi for Prudent Media.
NDPS court at Mapsa has rejected the bail application of PI Ashish Shirodkar and 3 other policemen allegedly involved in the drug mafia nexus case. Court has also rejected anticipatory bail application of PC Sanjay Parab, another accused in this case. DYSP of Crime Branch says police are trailing hard to nab Sanjay Parab.
Goa police had arrested PI Ashish Shirodkar and 3 other policemen for allegedly having links with drug mafia. The 5th policeman and accused in the police drug mafia nexus case, Sanjay Parab, is still absconding. NDPS court at Mapsa has rejected the bail application of PI Ashish Shirodkar and 3 other policemen. NDPS court has also rejected the anticipatory bail application of Sanjay Parab. PI Ashish Shirodkar along with other 3 policemen will be applying for bail in the High Court on Monday. DYSP of Crime Branch, Chandrakant Salgaonkar, spoke to us.
You see, all these applications, bail applications and the anticipatory bail application of Sanjay Parab are dismissed by the NDPS court.
Sir, on what grounds they have been?
That grounds I won't be able to tell you, but this I am told that these applications are dismissed by the Honorable Court.
According to the experts, it will be difficult for the policeman involved in drug mafia connection case to get bail from the High Court. A senior reporter from Panji, Rakesh Kandolkar, with video journalist Ravindra Dalvi.
Time now for a short break. Stay tuned for more news.